Good morning, traders, and welcome to another edition of Trading with AI using Andra. And Andra has given us a bullish forecast, and the real question is there more in the tank? And we're going to be going through and showing you exactly what Andra is showing you, and also how that fits in with overall what's going on the longer term, and what you can expect if we actually get going to the upside. Now, Andra started getting bullish basically yesterday morning when she gave a bullish forecast and said that we would possibly extend, although we extended more than Andra thought we would, and that's sort of like in this area right over here where I have my mouse. Okay, but the current forecast is for a vertical up, bias up, which is a very bullish forecast. And if you actually look at how extreme this is, you can follow my cursor across over here where at 40, where the top of the red zone is at 4060, and you can see that's clearly above all the other red zones on the screen. That's going back a week. And also you can see that the blue zone is not extending down very far, although it is showing that there is the potential for some sort of a pullback. Okay, and we've been sort of going sideways, unable to get past the green line. And if you actually look at what prices we're getting stuck at, you can look back at what the high for the week has been so far. And the high for the week so far has been 40.2475, and the high for the week for today is showing 40.23. So we have stalled and found sellers right at the high of the week so far. But Andra is saying that there's more in the tank because both its green line and its red zone have both broken out to the upside. So we'll have to see if that turns out to be the case. Now, in all cases, what the nice thing to do is when Andra is saying that there's a possible trade, we can look at our trade analyzer and see what's going on. So I'm going to switch into an analysis mode, and I'm going to zoom in on the screen so you can get a better idea of what I'm doing. Okay, now right now we're sort of in the area of 4016. So I'm going to move us up to 4016 on the analyzer. And I'm in RIM mode. Now I can be in one of two modes on the analyzer. I can either be in ANN mode or RIM mode. RIM mode gives us our short-term tick-based probabilities. ANN gives us pure probabilities from the forecast. Now the RIM mode uses the forecast information that comes from our AI forecast, but like I said, it enhances it with a knowledge of how the market actually moves on a very, very short-term basis. And anytime we've moved away from the original point of the forecast and a little bit of time has gone by, as we have today, you're better off using the RIM mode. So we're going to use the RIM mode over here, and we're going to ask Andra if there's a best trade with a 10% probability target, which is what I like to use for day trading, and let's see what it comes up with. Okay, and there we go. Now I've set my minimum stop at 11 handles, and that's exactly what Andra has put on the screen, an 11 handle stop, and it's showing that there is a basically a trade with an edge of about 36% that I could allocate one contract towards with my $5,000 account. Now that's one micro contract. Okay, now you can translate that into ES as one contract with a $50,000 account. Like I said, but I'm basing this on micro contracts. And also saying that we have a little bit of an elevated stop out probability of about 17%. So you might not be quite comfortable with that, but the volatility that is expected today, that might be the best thing to do. Now, like I said the other day, that if you are a shorter term trader and you don't want to target 40.41, you think that's too far away, then what you can do is you can go into edit and you can set your minimum target to a higher number. And let's try 40% and see if we can get a trade. Now sometimes there aren't any trades with these higher probability targets, and it's possible that we don't have one here, but we can evaluate it and see. And as you can see, there is no profitable trade with a 40% probability target. Okay, so those are things that you can play around with yourself. Like I said, I usually use 10% targets. I find those work out well. The targets get hit often enough. Now, one of the things I want to show you, and in order to do that, I've got to switch to another screen. So just give me a sec here, and I will be back. Okay, I'm back, and what I'm showing you now is a weekly chart on the ES. Now, the reason I'm showing you a weekly chart on the ES is because the weekly chart shows you the bigger moves that show participation of the bigger traders in the market. You know, the people that are trying to position themselves for monthly moves and quarterly moves and whatever, and they're the people that actually drive the market. And as you can see on the weekly chart is that we are in a downtrend. And it's sort of a two-sided downtrend where we go down, we go up again and test resistance, we go down again, and we go up again and test resistance, and go down and make a new low. And every time we seem to go down, we make new lows, and every time we come up, we seem to find sellers before we take out anything significant. And the significant place to watch right now would be the this spot over here, which is sort of 43.70. And we're nowhere near there, and it's unlikely we're going to get there today. But what could possibly be happening today which would be more interesting? Okay, well, if you look, you can see we're still somewhere below the center of the body of last week's trade. You can see right over there. But you can also see, if you understand breakpoints, that we've got a couple of breakpoints that we broke below last week that haven't really been tested. And one of them is in the 40.55 area, and the other one is in the 40.61 area. Okay, and if you remember from Andra's screen, those are the levels that were at the very top of Andra's red zone. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind, that if we really get going to the upside, we could see that 40.50 to 40.60 area tested this afternoon. No guarantees, but it's certainly possible. Okay, so anyway, I'm back with Andra again, and as you can see, we seem to be stuck here, but like I said, we were stuck for about an hour and a half yesterday. Might want to watch what happens when Europe closes. Europe's closing in a couple of minutes, and like I said, there are longs available anywhere in the 40.10 to 40.15 area would probably be best, but even at 40.16, there is a bit of an edge. Okay, so I would basically try to get long at the bottom of the range that we're building at the top and see how that works out. But like I said, there is the possibility of a rather substantial pullback if we get going to the downside, and that's something that I would definitely not use particularly tight stops and give the trade enough time to work. Okay, and that's what we've got for today, and I will see everybody later.